weirdos!
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, all you weirdos. Jim here, and we have some breaking news. And this is something that was expected, but that doesn't mean it's not breaking, right? And this news, I don't know how people are going to take it. The headline here, straight from The Wire, straight from the press release from Marvel itself, is that Saladin, Ahmed, and Martín Cóccolo will be the new creative team on the upcoming Wolverine solo book, the From the Ashes era Wolverine solo book. And I don't think the Saladin Ahmed part is going to surprise that many people. That has been rumored for quite some time. But for the longest time, the art deal was supposed to be Greg Cóccolo. And recently, and I even said in the video when I was talking about the announcement for the X Factor book, that it was announced by Cóccolo himself. He went on Twitter and said, I'm not doing the Wolverine book. And I think that some people will be upset about that, but maybe they'll be excited about Martín Cóccolo on that anyway. But here is the press release. Did I mention it? Straight off the wire. Straight off the wire from Marvel. The animal reawakens in Wolverine's new ongoing solo series. This September, Saladin Ahmed and Martín Cóccolo launch an epic new run of Wolverine set in the X-Men's upcoming From the Ashes era. Just in time for the character's 50th anniversary, the Wolverine legend begins anew. Following Krakoa's tragic fall, tragic it was, and the brutal Sabretooth War, it really did start out real brutal, storyline currently unfolding in the final issues of Benjamin Percy's Wolverine run, Logan will turn his back on humanity, mutant kind, and the X-Men, an all-new ongoing Wolverine series by acclaimed writer Saladin Ahmed, they say Daredevil there, and Marvel Stormbreaker artist Martín Cóccolo, Immortal Thor. And that's a cool deal, right? I don't know if people are going to be that hyped up for Saladin Ahmed. I do think that his Daredevil book may have been turning some people onto him, actually, more than turning it off. I saw a lot of people kind of pushing back at that when it was announced. And since then, I think it's good. It's nothing that is going to wow anybody, and it's not a book that I hear a ton of people talking about besides the kind of controversy at the beginning of the run that I did say, even at that time, was not what I thought was being seen on the page. But besides that, I have a lot of people when I do reviews and things on Daredevil, and I'm planning on doing this week's review on the channel. A lot of people just say, they like the run. They want it to pick up a bit, but it's one of those things. I don't think that Saladin Ahmed has this crazy big loyal following that's going to follow him anywhere, but this is Wolverine. People will be reading it. I just hope that it gets off to a banger of a start so people keep reading it, but we'll continue. Ahmed and Cóccolo's new run begins deep in the Canadian wilderness, where Wolverine reunites with his wolf pack and embraces the beast within. But Wolverine's more than an animal. He's a soldier, and a new war is brewing. They do like the beer up there in Canada. You ever see Strange Brew? That's why I know. As Nightcrawler struggles to remind Logan that he's part of a family, Logan's exile is violently disturbed by his most hated foes, and with each battle, a new existential threat gathers strength. See, now we're starting to get a little too fancy, but we do mention Nightcrawler. So that's cool. This ancient villain has been bubbling under the surface. I think it's beer again. Of the Marvel Universe since the days of myth, and once unleashed will dramatically alter the scope of Wolverine's storied history and force him to prove himself a hero like never before. There's a killer in the woods that could be like the first line in a sequel to Riders on the Storm. I think that would be pretty cool. There's a killer in the woods. And as Wolverine's attempt at peace is shattered, he's going to go in pieces. An enemy will reemerge as a new villain rises that will bring Logan to the brink of his berserker rage. This is continuing this weird concept in here. And tell me if I'm wrong. These press releases, straight off the wire, they end up describing something. And then they have, I'm telling you, you don't see it, but there's a big space, even on the printed deal. And then when they get back to it, I think they might have went and took a dump. And they don't remember what they just wrote because they repeat it just a little different way. It happened with the X Factor. It's weird. But here we go. But Nightcrawler knows his old friend is capable of doing what's right. And before long, Logan will have to unleash his claws pushes the healing factor to the limit and demonstrate he's the best there is at what he does once and for all. Nice be damned. Now I'm thinking that what they're doing here, we don't realize it. It's like, solicits have talent. There's two people that they're like, both of you write solicits, and we'll put them, and whoever does the best one. I kind of like the second one. The second one's a little better. I'm pressing the button. Right to, what is it? To Vegas? Right to Vegas they go. It's weird. It's the same thing, just slightly different. It's very odd. Note to collectors. The new series kicks off with a key first appearance and a major addition to the lore of Wolverine. See, that's how you do it. The second one wins. That first one, proving they has to be a hero or something. They didn't even use he's the best at what he does. The second one is clearly the winner. Here are some quotes, first by Saladin Ahmed. When I was a kid, Wolverine was the coolest character in comics. Now, here's a spoiler, Saladin. He still is. I've seen you. You're not a kid anymore. I think Wolverine's still pretty cool. That hasn't changed. Oh, see, he says it then. I should read ahead. That hasn't changed a whole lot for me. See, but he's saying that it did a bit. Why? So when Marvel approached me about a new solo Logan book, it was an instant yes. I do have, and this week I might even put out a video of the rumor mill. I've had this before. I get a lot of people talking crap on me when I do it, but I have two big rumors. One is an ex-rumor, and I was going to make the joke of what books are given or, hey, do you want to, that people actually turn down? There actually are some, but I don't need to think that Saladin Ahmed's turning much down. So he said an instant yes, and the yes is all capital. So he shouted it. Probably scared whoever told him, like, hey, you want to do that? He yelled yes in their face, and they're like, we'll get back to you. And then looked around. Nobody else went. So then they went back to him. Just calm it down, Saladin. Don't yell in my face. But do you want to still do it? He yelled yes again, and they ran. Then we continue. Logan is simultaneously a mythic hero, an abused animal. Don't like that as a visual. And a man of flesh, blood, and adamantium. Now, I like that. That's pretty sexy. He continued. Our story is about what happens when these parts of him all pull in opposite directions. I know it happened when I was a teen, and you know what I'm talking. And threaten to rip Logan to pieces. That won't come back together again. He's like the Humpty Dumpty. I'm telling you, as a teen, I could have used some of that adamantium. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I could talk for hours about why I decided to take this relaunch, but you want my real answer? It's Wolverine. That's it. Cóccolo shared. I'm telling you, I know that people would get upset, but it'd be refreshing. Do you want my real answer? They're giving me a paycheck. I want to be paid. And I like drawing Wolverine because he's badass. There you go. It's a dream come true for me. And I can't believe I get to tell my younger self every day that I'm drawing Wolverine. Now, here's the deal, Martin. You really can't do that. You're starting to get crazy. And you might turn people off like Saladin Ahmed yelling in people's faces. You don't really get to tell your younger self that. Saladin's exploration of the character and the story is incredibly exciting as a concept, as well as visually engaging. And I can't wait for people to finally see it. So there you go. Wolverine, kind of unknown to Saladin Ahmed, still very cool. Not just somewhat as cool. But it's going to be a book that a lot of people will get excited for. I just wonder how the reaction will be with the creative deal. I have a feeling that a lot of people will say, well, I don't love Saladin Ahmed, but I love Wolverine. Cóccolo is pretty cool, so let's go with it. And again, I stress to everybody, instead of just reacting and saying, this is going to suck, maybe we'll wait and read at least one issue. And then if it sucks, we can say it sucks. I'm not saying lie, fake the funk. We don't fake the funk here. But, it's in September. We have a while. Let's not get too riled up. Let's see how things fall into place and see what the story is all about. Because I, like Wolverine, I think I'm telling my younger self right now that can my younger self believe that old Jim gets to read a Wolverine comic? I mean, who would have thunk it? My younger self would say, well, grow up. And then I'd say, like, I'm way older than you. And then he would say, like, one of those bullshit things like, no, I'm an old soul. And then I'd say, get out of town. And then he'd say, you're a boomer. And then I'd cry. And I'm not. But this is why I don't talk to my younger self. My younger self, I swear to God, if I went to talk to my younger self, it talked so much crap on me and probably beat me up. I don't need that. I don't need that right now. I have a family to do that for me every single day. But that is it. That is it for the news. How everybody like it. But as I said earlier, I might come back with this rumor mill type of story. The problem is when you get these rumors circulating around, you end up like you want to do the video, but you have to check things out. And a lot of times before you check them out and then the story hits and then you're like, damn it, I should have put it out the day before. You got to do what you got to do. You got to be a true and respected journalist is what you have to do. You can't just throw things out there. You wait for them to come over the wire or you kind of go and check your sources, right? I don't know why I'm continuing like this, but that is it. Thanks, everybody. I hope you are looking forward to the Wolverine book and all of the books that come out each and every day, because while we tend to kind of talk a lot of crap on them, I really do want them to be good, and I think that everybody would be happy. Most people. Some people want to just bitch and moan, but some people and most people would be happy if they are. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Check it out in September, and I'll talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.